What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're at hole 12 Veterans Park, and we are going to be testing out the CNC from Protoflyte discs. No stamp on this one. It's just got a little machining with the product information on the bottom. A couple of unique things here. This disc is carved with a CNC machine, hence the name, out of a chunk of plastic. I've got some footage from their booth at the Expo where I picked this up so you can see what their blank is. It's like an oversized disc, and then they carve it down into this. They are able to, this is the neutral model, the CNC, but they make a CNC plus and a CNC minus where they can move the parting line height up for the plus or down for the minus to change the stability, which is really interesting. One thing that really interested me out of this is that there's no flashing, there's no parting line height, so that release out of your hand is really smooth. This thing kind of bombs, so enough talking, let's see how it flies. So as you know, if you've been watching me really for any length of time, I'm a big Zeus fan. Currently bag 4 Zeuses, also bag the time-lapse, kind of fits in between a couple of my Zeuses. We've got a tailwind though, so this would be my trusty Zeus on this hole, 167. It's a little pop. Let's see how they compare. A little higher, a little more turn. Probably less skip. And then, since this is most people's new favorite driver to talk about, we'll compare this. This is the purple time lapse, so it's a little less overstable. Dang it, came out of my hand all hyzer. Huge skip. Bad time-lapse throw. This Zeus is probably going to fly most similar to the time-lapse. This is a little newer to my bag. This one is older. It's from that like melted crayon run. Yeah, that's typically how I get a time-lapse to fly. Let's see how they shook out. A less beat in Zeus. Kind of low beamer with a nice skip. I expected it to go quite a bit longer. It has been in my previous throws of it. Protoflyte. This is the best throw I've ever had on this hole. Let's see if I can do it. With another. Let's go, Zeus, Zeus. So next hole to test the CNC on hole 13 here at Veterans, elevated basket. I have got this thing past the basket inside the circle twice, which really is what ticked me off onto this disc as being something special, something different, because I typically don't get that kind of extra release. So I'm gonna throw this one first and then throw those Zeuses again. A little bit of a headwind. It's gonna be short left, way left, dang, big skip. I did not get that one high enough up on the hill. So now I'm gonna throw melted crayons, Zeus. Try and pick a similar aiming point. Oh, 2 nose up. It's not gonna skip, but it is gonna go quite left. Man, that's the one thing I hate about doing these videos is the inconsistency of my release. Probably makes these a bit less helpful. So this one overthrew the Protoflyte in a tailwind. Let's see how it does in a headwind. Spoiler, not as good. Oh, expected that one to flip. That is gonna be over there by the Protoflyte. Man, I haven't got a single good throw off. Time-lapse. Nice and low. Definitely didn't have the power behind it though. All right, let's go see where they are. I hope all of these are in frame. And hopefully I'm in frame. Protoflyte, kind of noodle armed all these drives, but this one pushed through it to flip and it did not flip. Stable Zeus. Good throw with the time lapse. Okay, so I've got a stack of discs to talk about for 3 separate videos. So I was underwhelmed with how it flew today, but I do still love this disc a lot. I want to try out some of their other molds, or the other versions. Sorry, it's not a mold, it's a disc, because it's not made from a mold. The plus and minus version of this disc, I want to try them out, but they're sold out. So that is surprising. It's a $40 disc. It's the most expensive disc that I throw. I mean, I've paid for some like collectible discs more than $50, but I've never paid this much to bag it and beat it up and throw it. But I'm very impressed on this very green. Typically I'm like short edge of circle. I've had a couple that were deep mid circle or almost outside circle. So a couple of things at play here. I think the fact that it doesn't have flashing, so it's more aerodynamically efficient. And then also there's no under rim flashing, because again, those are where the mold lines are for a 1, 2, 3-piece mold that most discs are made out of. So it does come out of the hand a little bit better. It does have actually like a bevel here. So very interesting. I'm definitely gonna keep bagging it, keep experimenting with it. It has already beat in a little bit, or maybe I'm just more comfortable yamming on it and it's causing it to flip. Not really sure. Definitely has piqued my interest. 40 bucks makes it a little steep, and they only sell on their website, or maybe Infinite has them. Infinite might have them, but for the most part, they do not do wholesale because they are so expensive for them to make, you know, hours on the machine, because they have to buy a blank disc, those plugs that I'll show you again here. They have to pay for that. Those come from Gateway, and then they have to go get some machine time to get these things cleaned up. So their margins are probably the thinnest in disc golf, or at least that's what they're leading me to believe. But yeah, the CNC, if you can get your hands on one, I would say it's definitely worth a shot if you're looking for some like destroyer clone disc. It's very interesting. The flight plate is very soft. They're able to play with the margins there and get it really thin, which should help with the gyroscopic precession, because more of that weight is out in the rim there. Yeah, very interesting. Hopefully that was helpful to compare it to the Zeus or the time lapse. I'm a big Zeus thrower, so don't really throw destroyers much. I do have some destroyers in my glow bag, but those are a whole different beast. So yeah, that's the CNC from Protoflyte. Thanks for watching. As always, we will see you out there.
Down is minus, and so you have the same hand feel, you have that variation. And
So
then,
flippier, more overstable, right?
Plus,
okay.
plus will be more unstable.
Oh yeah, higher parting rate. Yep.
And then we have the high version of that. So the high is inverted. It stands for inverted. So we take this inside rim right here, and we actually undercut it 5 degrees this way. So it gives a smaller hand feel. So it's the same. The interesting thing that we found is that the flight characteristics of these 2 discs are the same.
Okay.
Like, you don't lose the high-speed flight characteristics, but you gain that, like, it feels like a 10-speed or so.
Peace.